gorgeous day here in California. It's sunny, it's warm, it's just so happy and joyful. So today's topic, I wanted to talk about what are the more severe signs and symptoms of coronavirus after the first 2 weeks of having it. So I had coronavirus for about 61 days before I was cleared and tested negative. And then after that, that's when I started my recovery. So mid-May of 2020, I started recovering from COVID. But before that, I was active. I had an active infection for 61 straight days. And that is from the day that I tested positive to the day I tested negative. So that doesn't include the week and a half before I was tested for corona. The more severe signs and symptoms was obviously the first one was my breathing. I could not breathe, and it was not like asthma. It was usually with asthma you get relief by taking the inhaler, but I was fully dependent on the nebulizer to just get me through the day because even the medicine wasn't strong enough for what was happening in my lungs. I could not breathe, and that was the most severe and the scariest symptom, and I still am having problems to this day. So I'm working on building my lungs up. Another symptom that was just the other horrific symptom that I was experiencing was a severe level 10 migraine from day one to the end. I had a migraine every single day, and there were episodes where the pain was so severe, I was just like screaming and crying. It was so horrible. The pain would start in my head and then just wave through my body. Like I had already had pain and fatigue and low energy and feeling exhaustion, but there would be waves where the pain would just come over me and my entire body. It was just the most agonizing thing. And I've experienced like severe Lyme pain in my spine, and it was like that. But with my Lyme pain, it was more on my spine and nervous system, whereas with corona, it's your entire body. You feel pain, your arms, your legs, your feet. My feet were hurting. Like, what is that about? So my feet were hurting all over. My hands were hurting, my ears were hurting, my neck was hurting, my throat was hurting, my eyes, everything was hurting. And so it was a severe, sharp pain, and they would come in waves every day, multiple times. And then when that didn't happen, I was just in an achy, heavy pain feeling, and that was a little bit more tolerable, but still level 10. And then I would cough. The dry cough was just not satisfying, if that makes sense. Like, I just would keep coughing because I couldn't breathe, and I keep yawning because I couldn't breathe. And then also I had no appetite, but I did obviously force myself to eat during it because 1, I'm type 1 diabetic, and 2, I don't starve myself. I always try to nourish myself. So even when I'm feeling really sick with no appetite, I try to find something that's nutritious and light for my stomach, and then I eat more of it throughout the day. So I had no appetite. I was nauseous. I was very weak, very feverish. I was so feverish. I had night sweats. I don't sweat. I do not sweat. And then I started sweating during this. I had night sweats that were really bad. And I had really like bizarre dreams. I know that's not really a symptom, but my dreams were just wacky throughout that time. And it was very interesting because I kept a dream journal, and a lot of it I was working through like traumas and emotions that I had been holding in. So I was releasing it through my dreams during this time. Other weird symptoms, I had like swollen lymph nodes, and you could see like under my armpits, it was like red and swollen. It was really weird. I had a little bit discoloration in my hands and my feet. Oh, the weirdest one. And I'm so glad I don't have that feeling anymore, but I would wash my hands, and then after I'd wash the hands and dry them properly, my skin would be like it's been frozen. Like it hurt, like my hands hurt as soon as air hit my hands after I washed my hands and dried them. It was like the air was just crippling my hands, and it was like a pain that lasted about like 5 minutes every time. It was so bizarre. I've never experienced that before. My blood sugars were high. That was more severe. I was in the 300s, and no, I didn't hit 400. I was high 300s though. I was high 300s and 200s in my blood sugars, which produced ketones, constant ketones daily, which then produced ketoacidosis symptoms. And so when I had the ketoacidosis symptoms, it was just, it took it to a whole nother level. So yeah, it was really brutal, honestly, and I don't miss it. It was just really awful, and it was a lot to process, and I'm still processing all of it. But my body basically just started shutting down, unfortunately. All my organs with my symptoms and my autoimmune diseases just flared up. Like, having this for so long has flared up everything in my body. And it doesn't look like it because I hold illness well, and I've learned how to take care of myself while going through pretty severe sick times. But it flared up every single thing I've had, even things I've kind of been more in remission with. So yeah, COVID is definitely a mechanism that wants to destroy its host, and that is what is scary, because you don't know what you're going to get when you get it, because each individual is so different in their experience and their body. So I believe my case went more severe because I have asthma, and I have type 1 diabetes, as well as some other autoimmune issues, as well as POTS, and I have a history of Lyme and tick disease. So I believe that's why my case went so severe, is because my body's been through so much the last decade that it tried to be taken out by this as well, but it didn't. I'm very grateful that I was not taken out by this, but it was very close call, and I felt like I was dying every day, and my body was trying to die every day. But I made sure that despite feeling this horrific pain everywhere in my body and experiencing all the crazy symptoms and bizarre symptoms throughout all of it, I just made sure that I harnessed a mindset of faith rather than succumbing to the fear. And I made sure I harnessed a mindset of victory rather than succumbing to being defeated. And it's really hard to develop that unless you've been through something traumatic or some type of loss in your life. And I think because I've been through so many different types of traumas, especially within the last 10 years in such a condensed small amount of time, that I've been able to build up my resiliency and be able to build up my mindset, and even the capability of allowing my body to heal, like help it, like give it the tools it needs to heal and fight off these diseases and bacteria infections and viral infections. So I truly believe everything I've gone through has helped me develop the tools in order to survive the most horrific, most deadly illnesses. And I'm grateful, because I mean, that's something to be good at. So if anything, I know that's one thing I'm great at in life is to fight off the most deadly diseases and be able to rise from the ashes of it trying to destroy me in my life. Silver lining. So with that being said, even though the symptoms were pretty brutal and I'm still processing everything that occurred the last few months, I truly believe that this was an experience that helped me grow and develop more healing resources and tools to be able to help others throughout my life. And I'm just so grateful to be alive, and I'm so grateful that I can help inform all of you of what actually happens when you get kind of a more severe case of corona. And I truly hope it gives you the ability to empathize and really be compassionate and caring for those who have a harder time fighting off illnesses, especially being more mindful about others who are outside right now and trying to stay far away from the germs and just trying to not catch corona. So I really hope my videos are able to equip you guys with knowledge and understanding so that you can be mindful as well when operating and living in this pandemic. Because even though I was very, very fortunate to survive this, a lot of people have not been fortunate to survive this. And I am reminded of that every time I think of corona, every time I see something that reminds me of it. And I know that I'm supposed to be here and I have meaning, and I have not fulfilled my life purpose yet because I'm still here. And so I want to take this experience and share it with all of you so that it can be meaningful. This experience won't go in vain. This experience won't be a waste. It won't be a waste of time, effort, energy, that it'll actually help the world in some way. It'll help people really truly understand. Because if you really want to understand and learn things in life, you go to the sources. You go and research. You take time to learn for yourself, think for yourself on truth, seeking the truth of what is and not of what is just told to you. Because I know there is a lot of false information out there, especially people that say, oh, it's like air sickness, oh, it's like a bad pneumonia, oh, it's just like a cold, oh, people don't even get it. Yeah, that's for some cases, but it's not for everyone. Not everyone has that experience. Everyone's experience is going to be different, and the importance of knowing that will help bring more awareness and kindness and mindfulness to the situation, and that will ripple effect positive impact and influence into this world and community, I believe. So anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and if you have any questions or comments, just comment below and I will get back to you.